Right, there we go, live and running on another Tuesday night here at AOR Hobo. Welcome back, anybody and everybody that is coming by. It is road course night, something different from what we have seen for Hobo racing, at least in the time that we've been watching it here. Daytona road course, totally different challenge, of course, for these guys compared to what they have had, not just so far this year, but for quite a few years. Hobo did run road courses at one point in time, but quite a few years ago, they started doing just the ovals. Now, under the AOR banner, the road courses are back, and it starts tonight with the Daytona road course. 33 laps, so definitely not a short race by any stretch, and going to be multiple pit stops, at least 2, if not likely 3 stops for most of these guys. We'll get into that more in a little bit, of course, but to help me with this one, a familiar face, but definitely a gentleman that I wanted for his road course expertise. The Bulldog himself, Zach Rogers, is back.
Yeah, what's up, Andrew? Happy to be here. First race of the season, second race for them here at Daytona, but on the road course layout. It's been since the season finale last year that I've done some commentary, so I might be a little rusty, but it's a road course, so it should be pretty chill.
Chill time and no cautions. So, hey, just bring what you brought and hope that everything goes your way in the end of it all. And got a decent field of guys here, looking like 18 drivers. So, among this group, we're going to find out who the road ringers are and where road courses may not be the strength. So, qualifying underway at the moment. Of course, a very extended qualifying session. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to get on and off track just to be safe, as to not hold anybody up. But Zach, while we let these guys qualify here, I'll just ask you. We were talking a bit in before we started about how tonight's going to be about tire heat, trying to keep from locking up. This track seems to be pretty heavy on the lockups, so trying to make those tires last is going to be just as important, if not more important, than the fuel, it looks like.
Yeah, Andrew, I didn't really do a full fuel or tire run. I did hear from Caleb Lingle, who did do a full fuel run, that he said it's 10, maybe 11 laps. So like you said, it might be close for some guys. Might see some guys have to try to clutch into a few of these corners where they can. This would be one of the more ideal road courses to, per se, save gas at, because there are a lot of on throttle points. So, whether it's some of the infield corners where you might be able to, coast into some of the corners to give up a little bit of time and save some fuel, or whether it's when you're coming out of the infield or out of the bus stop on the back straightaway, if you shift early, a couple hundred rev or a couple thousand rev, really, shifting at 8,000 instead of right at the top of the gear, you might see some guys save a little bit of fuel. And I didn't realize this, but feels weird seeing Caleb drive just the 13 and not the 113.
Yeah, you and I called a lot of races last year, and while a lot of things have stayed the same, there are some subtle differences, like Caleb in the 13, Herman in the 59. A couple of different schemes, a lot of the same ones though. So I think calling out guys hasn't been too difficult. And Duke Sorensen in the 24 instead of the 59. So
Yeah, that was the one that threw me for a loop. I was like, wait a minute, who's in the 24 again? And then I was like, oh, it's Duke. And then I was like, why does that feel wrong?
I
But
just think
so
of Viper.
these guys actually get 2 laps in queue, Andrew. I was messing around outside the server earlier doing an actual queue session mock queue, because there is a little bit more grip in the actual queue session. I don't know what the percentage is, but there is usually like a percent more or whatever. And there's actually 2 laps. I don't know if anybody will want to bother with a second lap. It'll depending on their grill tape, or if they're just running the race setup. This is honestly a track where it's so big that if you wanted to do a second lap, you could just run your race setup and you might gain a little bit, but the tires also just get so hot after one lap. I would say the strategy for me definitely would have been just do like a highway speed the whole outlap, 65 mph until I get to the bus stop, and then accelerate a little bit into the bus stop, and then I can just accelerate all the way out and start getting ready for my lap, because you do want to be doing around 195 at the start finish line. And then you go and slam those brake pedals all the way down to about between 50 to 60 miles an hour for turn one.
I sense turn one is going to be a big challenge for a lot of these guys.
Well, the good thing is restarts, you won't be going as fast into turn one, so there'll be a little more maneuverability there. I see Caleb actually decided to go for a second lap, got it into the 45-second bracket. That's a great lap there. You saw from me in practice that I was able to hit a 45.3, and I still think there's maybe a few more tenths out there. Somebody a little more brave in the infield with their tires going through the roof could have probably maybe gotten into the 44s, but a 45-second time here, 1:45-second time is still a great lap by our pole sitter here, Caleb Lingle. I forgot what my original point was there, but yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, Caleb Lingle on pole with a 45.8. Of course, the pole king himself finds himself back up there again. KJ, last week's winner in Atlanta, in second with a 46.2. Our man Mac Daddy in third, and Wiley King, an impressive lap there in fourth place. Wiley looking for some redemption after a promising result that ended up slipping through his grasp last week. Ricky Bumbalo, Jeff Stacanis, Herman Reese, Eddie Rayleigh, Jeff Fugate, Ryan Johnson, the top 10. Then you got Duke, Ken Hansen, Randy Smith, Troy Donahue, Steve Grant, all drivers at set laps. Gary Morin, Monty Keller, Greg Stenzo also appear to be partaking in this one tonight, making it 18 drivers. And for a road course, I would say that is a pretty healthy turnout. So always love to see that. We are now into the happy hour session. Ticker has been fixed. So let's go ahead and get we'll get some on-track action here. Why not? We're zoomed in on Steve Grant at the moment. Zach, we're talking about the tire heat and tire wear. A lot of that heat actually coming from the oval section since you're at such a high speed.
Yeah, you're doing. Gosh, let's see. What did Ricky do there going into the bus stop? You're doing almost 190 into the bus stop, and then you're doing. Some guys, it'll depend how they get out of the bus stop, what their end speed will be, but you're doing pretty much 195 to maybe 198. Some guys might hit 200 in draft, depending on their gearing and whatnot. But I'm watching Ricky Bumbalo come to the line now, and 195 at the line, and then just clicks 197, and then he has to slam the brakes, go down through the gears. Boy, I am going to be in for a rough go here through some of these corners for TV angles. Since I'm using
TV1's your only option.
Updated EXE here are the grandstands. They're solid objects on this version of my game, so that'll be tricky. Yeah, TV1. Yeah, once they heat up, you're talking right side tires. They turn orange on the F4 gauge. Right front, I think, does get a little bit hotter than the right rear, but it's really not a concern of cornering grip in the infield as much as it is getting the power down. And you have that right rear so hot, you have the left rear hot. Hot rear tires is what you never want on any road course, because you just lose all grip coming off at any corner. Thankfully, it's not too big of a thing here because there are so few infield corners. You have turn 1, 2, and 3, I guess you could technically call them, or they're flat out. Then you have turn 4, then turn 5, which is a left-hand kink in the middle of the infield. That's borderline flat out. You have to kind of just crack the throttle a bit and modulate it, and then next right-hander, you have to get down on the brakes. That's another very slow corner, and then the corner coming out. So 1, 2, 3. So there's 4 corners where you have to be careful about getting on the gas pedal. 5 if you want to count the bus stop, because the way to be fast through the bus stop is to brake at the 150 marker, send it in deep. You're downshifting and turning and still on the brake as you go into the bus stop. Then you like kind of, as soon as you get down to the speed you want to be in the middle of the bus stop, you're right back on the gas. So you just transition all your car's like momentum and you shift it from the front to the rear, which gets your car like to step out good. And then you just have to like hold that just right and you floor it out. So the tire heat doesn't seem to be too big of a deal for me, at least in the bus stop. It might be for some of these guys, but the first 2 heavy braking zones when you need to come back out on the throttle going into the infield, like that's where you have no traction.
I'm watching a few guys going around there, and I'm just kind of keeping an eye on their speeds there. And yeah, we're seeing them about 195 on average. I think Herman Reese was hitting 193 and slowed up a little bit early, like just after the start finish line. Of course, this is the traditional 24-hour Daytona layout, so no chicane on the front stretch, just the back, and then of course the standard layout here on the infield. Jeff, you get kicking out the back end there. We'll be watching for a lot of dust in that bus stop from what I've been seeing, as we're just about to get going here.
Yeah, that's one thing. That's one thing that can make this track very sketchy from the laps I was doing with these guys in practice. Being able to see the mark you need to hit, especially going into the bus stop. If anybody kicks any dust up going into the bus stop, it completely messes up the visibility of the line you want to take, because you're going into the bus stop so fast. You're braking as hard as you can. Like, you need all the visibility you can get. So any of that visibility gets obscured, and it kind of throws off your confidence a little bit. And that little bit of confidence gets thrown off. Next thing you know, you brake a little too little and you didn't slow down enough. And then you kind of lose maybe half a second kind of going through some grass, and you have to slow it down a little bit more. So the bus stop will be one of the sections where you will either maintain and gain time on some guys, and other guys will lose time.
Perhaps a little tactics, maybe. Just kick those side tires into the dirt a little bit and just throw off your opponents. I think that's wishful thinking on my end. But we're just about to get this party started here. These guys are practice some pit entries there. Pit road speed remains 55, so the standard pit road speed for Daytona has not changed. 30 final seconds here, and then we are going to get it going. 33 laps. Pit strategy could be a bit all over the place. We'll see if anybody is going to attempt the 2-stop. 3-stop does sound like it'll be favorable, just based on, of course, what you were saying and what Caleb was telling you. Because if you can maybe push it to that 11th lap, well, who knows how much you might be losing at that point. So, risk versus reward, time will tell. And hey, that's the way to strategize in this race. You ain't going to have any cautions to save you. It is all or nothing. As these cars are about to grid up. Get on and off track here myself.
Yeah, and I will say we talked about that off the air before we went live. So just to get into a little bit of refresher for those listening, fuel is borderline 11 laps. I think one thing that'll maybe remove that strategy here is the full pace lap. You have to probably clutch this entire lap if you're going to want to attempt a 2-stop. But so what I was saying, if it were me, you give up 45 seconds. Command gets given by the game. You give up about 40 to 45 seconds on a 4-tire fuel pit stop. So if, depending on how fast you are, if giving up time to save a lap of gas isn't in your playbook, what you can do is I would have done an 8-8-8-9 strategy. So I go 8 laps in pit, 8 laps in pit, 8 laps in pit, and then the 9 to the finish. And that's assuming the race stays green. Do they even bother with cautions at all, Andrew? Or
Not in this one, from what Keith was telling me.
Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna confirm that. Yeah, so yellows are off. So yeah, I mean, it's strategy. Strategy is how you want to play it. Like I said, there's a lot of high speed sections here, so you can clutch and coast, but you're gonna give up some time doing that. So, if you can give up less than 40 seconds, saving that lap of gas you need, in each run, then it'll be worth it. But if you can't, I would just make the extra pit stop because the tires might not make it either. One bad lockup and forget it.
You know who the fastest driver is out here? Brett Bodine. Look at this.
Yeah, those pace cars got different kind of downforce, man. I'll tell you what, but they'll catch up to him here on the oval.
That was just funny looking. It's got Formula One levels of cornering. Oh, that's funny. We'll have the double file start, it looks like, as per usual. And to turn one is going to be very, very interesting to see if everyone can get her down to speed properly. Of course, everyone's going to be trying to check up at different points, but credit to these guys, though. Of course, obviously, a lot of them have been running with each other for many years. They know each other pretty well. They try to race with respect, so I'm sure a lot of room will be given. But if your guys back there like Ryan Johnson, like Jeff Fugate, could be an opportunity to try and make up at least a little something while you have the opportunity. But we'll find out here as they pass through the backstretch chicane and onto the oval for the final time behind the pace car. And it is
Ryan
game
Johnson
on.
snuck in here at the last second.
Yeah, that's usually his MO. He doesn't run a lot of practice laps. He usually qualifies mid-pack to even toward the back, but he'll usually set a qualifying lap. And once you get him out there, he will find a way to get that Buffalo Wild Wings car at least close to the front. See if he can do that here on the road course. Pace car is going to pull it in for the first and only time tonight. Caleb Lingle, KJ, on the front row. It's road racing. It's AOR. It's Hobo Racing. We are green for 33 laps in sunny Florida.
Guys giving everybody pretty good room here. Everyone's being ginger here in the turn one. They know once they get spaced out, it'll be, battles as they come. Monty Keller got a little sideways, but everyone keeps it clean.
Keep an eye through there, and everyone's so far so good. A little wide for Ricky Bumbaloo. That could cost him a spot. Actually, Wiley a little bit on the grass, was not able to get on the power, and up to fourth will be that 85. So kind of crossed him over. Worked out for that gas monkey dodge. Wiley King still top five at the moment.
Contact between KJ and Keith.
Oh, yeah, through the low speed corner there. Little left tap. KJ holding on to second though, as Langle clear into the lead for the time being. And into the oval they go for the first time. And keep those tires at least as cool as you can. I mean, this might be a dumb question, Zach, but to try to keep those tires at least a little bit cooler, is even remotely letting off the throttle through the oval advisable, or is that just going to cost you too much?
No, it's not even worth it.
Didn't think so. As through the chicane they go, kicking up the dust as expected. One lock up there from Sorensen. Oh, man, I think there was a drought here in Daytona. But once again, everyone through cleanly by the looks of it. From what I can see, I'm not seeing anybody way off pace. So far, so good. Out in front, though, Caleb Lingle from pole position. Gonna lead the first lap. 196 through the tri-oval and hard on the brakes into the first corner.
Oh, Caleb got in deep. Perfect corner, really. He missed the apex just a bit, but that's pretty much a perfect entry. It looks sketchy, but going that wide is advisable.
And I'll tell you what, the fact that he nailed it as good as he did, and KJ still actually closed in on him under braking. And Keith did not let any of them get away, so Impressive stuff from those three. I think those guys could be the could end up being the class of the field if things stay as they are. Ricky Bumbalo holding on to that 4th position just ahead of Wiley, and then Jeff Chicanes in 6th. Then number 31, bright number 31. Love the look of that.
See Keith getting a little wheel spin here. It's not really strong yet because they only did 1 lap on the oval. But when they come back around in the infield next time, you're going to see a lot of guys start struggling to get grip down, and that's only going to get worse and more difficult as the run progresses and the tires wear. So self spins are a thing we're going to start to probably look out for next lap. But yeah, based on practice, Andrew, Caleb, KJ. I'd say are the top 2 favorites. Keith, if he can keep up, they make a mistake like KJ did right there.
Yep.
He missed the bus stop breaking point just a wee bit. Keith can stay close. He might have a shot. And don't count out guys like Ricky Bumbalo, Wiley King, Jeff Stekenis, Herman Reese. I was helping some of these guys with a few pointers and helping them show where they can gain a little bit of time by breaking deeper. But it is a lot of risk versus reward, and you have to be confident, like I said.
Confidence is key, having a good car. Of course, these guys are still running open setup. Oh, man, look at KJ, man. He is sending it in there. I don't know if that was too much. Oh, maybe too much.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it is. There it is.
His tires are too hot. The rears are lit up.
And from the runner-up position, around goes last week's winner. Keeps it off the wall, so no damage, but
he's going to have to be really
careful to save him.
He's going to have to be really careful here until he gets back on the oval because he's got no rear grip now.
He was trying to spin that thing around. He just kept on the power.
It just kept spinning. It just kept spinning, too, because the tires, they get so hot, Andrew. You're talking 230 plus on the left rear and about 250 plus on the right rear, if not more. I think actually it's close to 260 plus. So it's just, you're turning the tire into a slick and you just can't go anywhere. Like if you were to do a post-victory burnout.
Yeah. Do you think that slide, I mean, I'm sure obviously the tires are up temperature from the oval, but you think him sliding through the corner there, if he had just been a little more patient on the throttle, could have maybe recovered from that?
Yeah, that could have been part of it, but he also, I think, wasn't expecting Caleb to break where he did. That's what kind of got him offline in the first place going into turn 1. And then it just barely came around on him. Ryan Johnson now having issues getting into the bus stop. There's just dust clouds everywhere now. It's going to be hard for anybody to see their line going through the bus stop. A lot of guys are just kind of clipping the grass. If anybody turned off their debris and particles, they won't have to worry about it. But I mean, I'm watching Stenzo come in now, and it's just a dust cloud.
Yeah, some guys further back here at the moment. Yeah, Greg Stenzo, Steve Grant, Troy Donahue rounding out the field at the moment. Checking back up front. Tell you what,
Ricky Bumbalo's kind of right there. I'm telling you, don't count out that 85.
I was just noticing that. I mean, he just ran a 47.3, which is very respectable.
Ooh, Keith.
Wow, yeah, that was deep. Keith right now, though, the best of those three, that last lap with the 47.1 was actually half a second quicker than the 13. So all still within shot of each other. And yeah, credit to Ricky after KJ falling out of the podium position with that spin. Looking pretty good at the moment. And everyone looking pretty good through that corner there. Although, boy, Keith is locking him up a lot going into. I couldn't tell you which corner this is, actually. But I know there's 14 corners officially listed on this racetrack. Exactly where they are, I don't know. But as you go through that final low-speed corner just before you get onto the oval, Keith has been locking it up the most on that corner as there's still dust back here. Boy, we need some rain here at Daytona. Just not right now.
Oh, Ricky went in too deep in the bus stop. He's around.
Oh, and he is around. And just at that moment, pass for the lead. Keith McLean gonna take it.
Ricky
at the same
smart.
time, Bumbalo around. Wiley King promoted to third as a result.
And that's probably one of the two worst corners to spin out of because you're going from about 85 mile an hour all the way up to almost 200 here down in the turn one. So that's going to cost Ricky a ton of time. The other worst spot to spin out of would probably be coming out of the infield.
Yeah, we're just before the oval.
I would say coming out of the bus stop is probably worse.
Yeah, it's even more straightaway that you're going to be off the pace on. So tough one there for Ricky, man. Every time we hype him up, and that even last year,
I hyped him up too.
It's always you. Well, I mean, let's not talk about New Hampshire last year. Let's just not talk about that.
Let's just say there's a lot of race here, and like I said, Andrew, the tire heat problem doesn't go away, and the longer you go on the run, the more your tires wear, so then you have less grip from the wear, and then with the heat you have less grip, so then it's just going to compound every lap these guys are out here. So I would say, and this is that makes it a tiring course, Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say expect more guys to self spin. I'd say I wouldn't rule out the top two self spinning, you know.
It's possible for anybody. I mean, yeah, we just saw KJ do it. We saw Ricky do it. This is definitely one of the more sketchy spots. But both of those two get through there for the time being. A little corner cut there from Wiley King.
Everybody's been corner cutting. I'm not going to lie. I watched Keith cut a corner right after turn one. I don't think this track is too strict about that.
No, I don't think these guys are going to be all that strict about it either. We're focused in on KJ at the moment. He's going to actually pass Ryan Johnson, who I think is going to let him have that pretty easily. I think it's going to promote KJ back to 7th.
Monty's got a flat left front. That's why Monty's trying to pit. He locked it up bad, and now he can't even slow down.
And that's another big thing with the lockups. Oh, wow. Yeah, he got her in the wall. And
Ken Hansen made a mistake because he fell back big time.
Rick Stenzo, I think also Steve Grant just lost it as well. So, oh, wow, yeah, big slide. You see the skid marks there.
Ken spun out in turn one, and then he got a little help from Stenzo going into turn, I think that's 4.
This is a pretty standard road course broadcast affair. You try to keep focused on the guys toward the front, but most of what happens
Wiley
is going to be else. Uh-oh. Oh, someone's... he went off.
He got damaged.
Oh, wow, big damage. Okay,
he just locked
this
up.
One we're going to take a look at.
He locked up big right there, and he fell all the way down to 8th.
Where did the damage come from? Let's see.
It might have been turn 1.
Oh, yep.
Turn 1. Told you, that's one of the trouble spots. Did he lock up?
I just overcooked it. Oh,
no, it might have locked up a little bit. You can't see it, but it definitely locked up because he braked about where you want to brake. It just didn't slow down enough. That damage is going to hurt on every straightaway, too.
Third places. Let's see, we had the runner-up have a problem, and now both guys in third place as we got Caleb all over the tail of the 28.
Tell you what, KJ's back up to
out.
6th place because of all these mistakes and whatnot.
Yeah, I think he was even maybe going for a top 5 position there from what it looked like, but Caleb going to be patient, going to let Keith maintain it for right now. We're on lap 7 of 33. Jeff Staken is promoted to the 3rd position now. And yeah, P5 now for KJ. As long as he can keep those tires under him.
I think, I know I said this off the air, but I'm just going to say it again. I know my man Mac Daddy is really happy I'm up here in the booth right now.
Zach, I think I also said this off air, but I think a lot of guys are probably happy you're up here and not down there because, again, this is I can say it. This is a big reason why I brought you up here, dude. You are among the best road racers in NR2003. Probably second only to Brendan Hawkin. Oh, Keith.
That wheel spin, man. Well, Brandon Hawkin, you can't even really count in the community anymore. I'm sad to say he's been out of it for a little bit now. There's a whole new group of guys out there, some that are probably a little better than me in some capacities. So there's a good group of road course guys out there. It's just they all kind of race in their own little groups. So it's hard to know who's really good and who's not unless you see them on track. So, but for what it's worth here, Keith and Caleb, they're the class of the field right now, but you do have KJ who is trying to gain some of that time back. And I would say KJ's not out of it by any means. There's still a ton of race left. It's only a 13-second gap right now. So KJ just can't make that mistake again. He needs Keith or Caleb to make the mistake next.
Yeah. Although I will point out that at least the last couple laps, his lap times have been a couple tenths quicker than our top two. So you know that he's trying, and he's going to try everything that he can. Both guys, third and fourth right now, are running 49s, while we got high 47s to 48 for the top
KJ
two.
made
And, well,
mistake.
right as we said that, overcooks it.
I think he locked up. I think he did the same thing Wiley did.
Was just able to get away with it there, but although Wiley just repassed him with that error.
Yeah, so KJ went into the corner, and as he's slowing down, it got a little sideways on him, and that caused him to completely miss it. But KJ, fortunately, was able to stop it. He didn't hit the tire barriers, so that'll be a silver lining there for him. But back down to 8th.
Boy, oh boy. Yeah, it's... When you make a mistake, I know it's easy to be like, man, I gotta try to make up this time. I don't have a caution to save me, and then you just compound the error. It's like in golf when you miss a 5-foot putt, and the next thing you know, it's like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I speak from experience on that, as you can tell.
I didn't know you were a golf player. Caleb almost ran over Mac
boy!
Daddy.
Oh, that's gonna cost him.
A good thing. Better to not run him over, though, I will say.
Yeah, good save, good recovery. Caleb definitely has enough speed that he should be able to close back in, but live to fight another day. Good recovery on those guys.
I will say, Andrew, one might think that draft is a bit of a thing here, but it's not. It's really not. And the reason for that is because you don't really hit the top end, the fourth gear, for more than maybe like 5 or 6 seconds total between the bus stop and the front straightaway. So if you set your gear just short enough and you don't have too much tape on it to where you can just get right below the rev limiter at the end of this front straightaway, draft means nothing. Ooh, Ryan Johnson a little off track.
Oh, wow, big. Oh, boy. Oh, he's got flat tire, question mark?
Nope, doesn't look like it.
Nope, that was just the... Oh, no, he does.
Wait,
yeah, he does.
He does. Yeah, left front's down. That might have been lock up. Let's see. Did he lock up?
And then the worst possible place. He's got to limp around the whole lap like that. With no left front.
Yep.
Oh, boy,
okay, so he locked up late too. Eddie locked up a little bit in front of him, and then Ryan locked up a little bit, and that was just, he must have been locking it up a little bit here and a little bit there, and the left front finally went, and Ryan had made his way up to 6th place, so that's a shame. But these guys are on a lap here where the tires are going to start to go. I mean, they're on lap 9, so I'm really not surprised that we're seeing some tire failures. If these guys might be able to make it to the end of lap 11, it might not be as big of a deal as I, was making it out to be. So it might still be an easy 2-stop. But we'll see. We'll see who decides to pit. Keith is not, and yeah, they're gonna probably try to make it here.
Yeah, 2 guys that I have been at least keeping an eye on have been Jeff and Herman, and they've both been just steady. They're looking relatively chill. They're not running very fast lap times, but I think that's by design. They're just like, yeah, let's just keep these cars under us. Lap times be darned. Let's just try to make it to that lap and just actually survive. Because sometimes these races can just be a matter of survival. I mean, I do remember at one point I ran a race at the Roval. Even TDR, I'm not sure on that, but I know that I was putzing around at like 70% of what I could probably do at that track the entire race. I finished like 30 seconds behind the winner, and I finished 3rd. So survival is just as important as anything else.
Wonder if that was the TDR race I won.
I'm pretty sure you won it. Or was
It
that?
might not have been,
It
but
may have been Blake McCandless that won it, actually.
there was a Watkins Glen race I won at TDR one year, but I don't remember if you were
Hmm.
in it or not. Um, we'll say there's not a lot of loss. So we're still seeing guys like Keith and Caleb. They're running 147s, 148s, but they're definitely the tires are wearing.
Oh, Caleb. Oh, he sent that one in.
But you talk about endurance. It's a mental endurance thing, especially on a track like this where the tires get so hot, and it's always in the back of your mind every time you go off into the infield that my tires are really hot. I have to be careful when I get back on the gas. I don't want to spin out. I don't want to lock up. And it looks like this is going to be a pretty simple two-stopper, actually. These guys are going to go on the lap 11 here. And, I mean, if they can make it after doing a full pace lap, I mean, they can make it 11 laps the rest of the way. I think it's just going to be a matter of tire wear.
Yeah, these guys are looking good for that. Ooh, a little kick out there for Caleb, but holds on to it. Jeff and Herman also doing the same thing. Looks like, okay, if
Wiley King's
KJ,
on pit road.
after both errors, KJ now up to 5th.
Duke Sorensen will be pitting as well. So those guys are a little bit short.
I'm sure their tires are, yeah, they're probably in the realm of, my tires are going to explode at any second.
Yeah, that's what Keith and Caleb, I think, are going to be careful about this lap because there's no way to tell how close they are on wear, but I would say they're probably almost all the way down at the end of yellow, if not close to into the red. Ooh, Caleb, that entry didn't look ideal, but it actually didn't look too bad there through the center. I'd say these guys are probably at the point, Andrew, where if they lock up going into the bus stop, they're gonna blow a tire. So they just got to try to make it the pit road here. And you don't want to blow a tire getting on pit road either, because then that slows down your pit stop.
They have a hard time getting that jack up in the air, and that will cost you a couple seconds as through the dusty chicane they go in this very,
Yes, the dusty chicane.
that's what we're going to call it, the Dusty Roads chicane. There we go. How's that? Any of my WWE viewers out there? I just realized I have not had the chat up this entire time. Whoops.
So here comes Keith and Caleb.
No surprise there. Shout out to a couple the guy from CCR there, Richard, and also McCoo was in chat earlier. So sorry, I
One
did not have the
thing
chat open this whole time.
One thing I'm noticing is nobody is hot pitting at all, because if usually when you hot pit, you lock up the fronts a little bit. You can't do that because all these guys are like right down at the end of their rubber.
Yeah. Anytime that you would gain hot pitting, you would just lose from blowing that tire. As all the top 5 are in, including KJ.
Pretty much everybody that hasn't pit is pitting.
Yeah, there's no real point to going an extra lap. Ooh, pretty close for those guys, Caleb and Keith. Of course, we'll be trying to keep an eye primarily on those two, but
Now,
after
does the auto admin put it in game chat if somebody gets a black flag, or does it only go to them? Or do they just get the black
I
flag and they already know anyway?
I don't know, honestly. I of course don't open the chat during these streams, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any messages, so I'm assuming that it probably doesn't, because it probably doesn't want to flood the game chat. But that would be a cool thing for broadcasters if, like, the guy who's not the main broadcaster can check the chat and find out, like, oh yeah, driver X sped on pit road, he's doing a drive-through. But
Yeah,
we find out anyway. Oh, Keith, that was a little bit of smoke.
he's got a bit of a lead there, so they're just trying to keep it under
Hey,
you, but there's still a long ways to go. We're only on the 12th lap.
drive the tires. Those tires aren't all the way up to temp yet. Once they go through this oval section one time, then you got to watch the tires again. But that first section of the infield off of pit road, it feels nice again. The car drives like a normal road course car again. I don't even think Keith cares anymore. He's just putting them all in the grass.
Cycling back around to our front here.
Now, Wiley King's cycled around to 5th after he pit, and he fixed some damage too.
Did he?
I think he might have fixed a little bit of it. The hood doesn't look. Actually, I think you're right. I don't
Yeah,
think
I
he
don't think
fixed
he
any of
did.
it.
I mean, honestly, speed-wise, he's not looking that bad. I don't blame him. I think it would have cost him more to sit there for
Ooh, Caleb.
at least 30 seconds. Ooh, that's going to cost him through this little kink there. You don't want to end up too offline through that, or else, yeah, you are going to have to check up a little more than you would typically want. Catching up to Steve Grant here in the 11.
I will say right now, KJ is still definitely a threat for the top 3, pending another mistake. Jeff and Herman are not too far ahead of him to where he could not catch them with the amount of race that is left. I will say top 2 is definitely out of range right now for KJ, unless they both make a mistake. Which I will say, right now, if you're Keith and you're leading, you just take your time, take it easy. No reason to really worry about Caleb right now. If you're Caleb, you might want to be a little closer, but honestly, not having the car directly in front of you can help you get closer, and you can enter the braking zones however you wish.
He's going to have to navigate Steve here next
Yeah,
through, probably the worst place to do it.
Yeah, that was not an ideal spot to catch Steve, because that cost Caleb probably about a second through the bus stop. And you see Steve lets him go after, which that is the generous move. But if I'm in Caleb's seat, I'm like, man, could you have let me go before the bus stop? I know Caleb wasn't right there on him going into the bus stop, but like, depending on the speed gap, you got to let him go before, because that's a super important corner.
Oh, yeah. So.
Didn't seem to cost him too much there, though, so I'll cut
Oh, and
Steve.
this around goes Steve.
I'll cut Steve some slack as he just spins out. So
that was actually a very graceful spin, all things considered. Jeff Chicane is still running in P3. Just ran only a couple hundredths off his personal best lap, and Herman Reese has been right at, like, you have the top 2, and then these 2 have been in about the same stalemate for really probably the last 10 laps. They have not been able to really gain or lose each other.
I think Herman might be just waiting for Jeff to make a mistake, because Jeff was one of the guys that I showed where he could brake a little deeper going into the bus stop, and he said, man, it's sketchy though. So, if Jeff tries to push that bus stop a little bit more on entry, that's probably the mistake Herman is waiting for.
Most likely so. And Herman, we know him well enough. We know that he's one of the more conservative drivers, a little smoother, just the guy that you're rarely going to see make any major errors.
So you're going to interject real quick here, Andrew, not to step on you, but fastest lap of the race was just run by Kilojoules in the 029. He ran a 146.851. He is only one of 2 drivers currently who has really pushed his car into that 146 bracket. As we saw from Q, obviously 145.8 was the Q lap. You can run a 145.8 with your race setup, but it is risky. I will say, probably not worth the juice of the squeeze here in the race setting. But if you can run consistent 146s, as KJ is probably trying to do, you should see yourself move up the running order or pull away if you're in the lead.
What in the world happened here? Keith McLean just ran a very slow lap, and then Caleb ran an even slower one.
I think Caleb made a mistake somewhere, because that don't look right.
Yeah, 152. That's no go.
Oh, Caleb went off. Caleb missed it's the last right-hander in the infield. He went a little too deep and just kind of drifted wide. But he didn't spin too much on the asphalt, and the car stopped immediately in the grass. And then I think, let's see, Keith went a little wide coming out of the infield, so that cost him probably a second. And then once he saw Caleb mess up, he probably decided, I can take the... Yeah, Keith took the bus stop super easy because he's got a gap now.
He's got a very considerable gap. relative to what it has been for most of this race. If I'm going to check in on that podium battle here. Oh, that was a spin on the curb there almost for Herman, but able to catch it, but that's going to cost him a lot of time, especially, as you said, Zach, that's one of the, among the worst places that you want to check up on, because then that's going to cost you speed through the entire oval 1 and 2, and KJ is now already getting closer and closer to striking distance.
Yeah, Keith just went through the bus stop very easy again. Maybe a little too easy.
Lost third gear.
Oh!
Keith lost third gear.
Yeah, you heard that too.
That's going to be a big blow.
Oh.
That's going to affect his braking too, because you rely on third going into the bus stop and into turn 1 to help slow you down immediately from fourth. And when you don't have third, you have to stay in fourth longer, and that makes it boggy. That like kind of almost unsettles the car under braking, makes it a little boggy. Then you have to go from fourth straight to second, and if you do that too soon, that is going to upset the car even more.
And that is something that, for a road course race that we did not even consider, the risk of losing gears is very, very high, no matter who you are. And holy moly, this could get spicy. There's that lockup.
I would say obviously fourth gear here would kill your race, but if you still have fourth gear, I would say losing third hurts more than losing second, because you really only use third on the oval. There's one section in the infield where you would use third, but it's so short that I don't think it affects you as much as not having it on the oval does. But that's going to help put Caleb back into this. So now Caleb's just got to not make a mistake. And he's in the catbird seat here, because Keith is going to lose. Yeah, Keith is losing a ton of time not having third gear. I'm just going to see what his speed here at the start-finish line is, and that'll give me a very telltale sign of how much he lost. Yeah, he's doing 194 at the line, and Caleb is doing 196. So that doesn't seem like much, but I would say a better comparison would be, I watched Keith come off of turn 4. He was doing about 173. When I was practicing with these guys, I would come off the corner doing about 178. So that's like more of a 5 mile an hour difference. So
he was only 0.2 slower that lap, so he's finding good ways to compensate. But at the same time, does that also mean that you're going to have to push those tires a little harder to make up that lost time?
Yeah, and that's going to be, like I said, the problem here is the heavy braking zones of turn 1 and the bus stop, because you are relying on like Keith can't dive those corners now like Caleb can, because he doesn't have third gear to help engine brake the car. So you can't dive those corners as deep as you were before. So if he tried to, he would most likely miss the corner, and you do not want to miss turn 1, let alone the bus stop. You miss turn 1, you go in the tires, you're done.
Yeah, I was just comparing speeds there through turn 2, and it was about a 5 mile an hour difference as they were going past the camera.
Oh, yeah. See, Keith.
He's going to overcompensate big, and it's going to end up in the tires.
Yeah, see, it looked like things killed. That's unfortunate. So if you go to the replay there, Andrew, I was watching Keith as he went into the bus stop. So he braked early. He's looking good, braking early. Car's slowing down, and then he
downshifts too early.
I don't know about that. I think he turned in too early. And when he shifted the car from the broken third into second, or from neutral into second, maybe, it shifted the rear end of the car around, and that caused him to turn in too early, and then he got in the grass, and it just spun on him because the tires are so hot.
Wow.
That's unfortunate for Keith, man. He was gonna have still a very good run, regardless of no third gear there, and you hate to see it, really.
Battle for second, which is now second. as KJ has caught. He's already passed Herman. He's now in a battle with Jeff Stukanis with the lap car of Monty Keller right in front of them. Boy, you think what could have been for KJ? He's now new fastest laps of 146.5. Oh, unfortunate there that, whoops.
Monty's actually going to get out of the way for him for once.
For once.
For once, yeah. Usually KJ sees that 028 and the 029 50-50 shot, it gets spun out or something, so.
Oh, man, oh, man. Well, hey, you're Caleb Lingo now. You're like, well, let's just finish out this bad boy. No sweat. Let's try and keep it under you. Gap is, oh, man, 15 seconds.
Well, just remember that gap after the first pit stop was 24 seconds, so KJ is still very much on the charge. If KJ can keep his car under him, he might have a shot, but Caleb doesn't have to stress out really here either.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, he just ran a 47.6. A little slower there. We'll compare. As Keith is on pit road trying to see if there's any hope of salvaging anything. Let's see, do we have anybody retired? We do not. Everybody is still out there.
I'll say KJ didn't get to run much of a lap there either because he was navigating some traffic, and he locked up a little bit in the one, but he's fine.
And under him there. There's Scannis, though, still on a great run here, still holding on to that P3 position.
And Keith will come back out on the track, but he will be a lap down, I believe.
And now he's just going to hope for any form of attrition to gain some points. Again, last week's runner-up and was running on the last lap at Daytona on the oval in the first race. Running second when him and the 40 made contact, and unfortunately they crashed.
I'll say I don't want to jinx him, but Ricky Bumbleow's back up to 6th, and he's closing in on Wiley King for a top 5. As Wiley King goes off the track, so Ricky Bumbleow will go up to 5th.
Ugh, a race of... Oh, hold on. Oh, Eddie! Look out. Eddie Rayleigh taking avoiding action there in the 112. Eddie Rayleigh's another driver that's, at least from what we've seen, kept it relatively decent and under him, although they've just had a bit of a mischief there. As Magoo has just gone from calling him Mac Daddy to Crash Daddy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy. He is going 145 through that corner. Zach, I'll be real with you. I mean, you try to game when you can, but I don't think that engine's going to survive.
Yeah, it probably won't.
I don't. That thing's not seeing the end of the race. Second lap
AJ's got it down.
Oh.
AJ ran another 46.7. Yeah, he's got it down to 13 seconds now. Caleb can take it easy as long as he wants here until he gets to another pit stop, but
yeah, it's not over.
KJ, if KJ can just keep his car under control, I mean, he's got a shot.
How about that after everything we've seen him go through in this race? Ken Hansen, the next car up the road here for Caleb. As Greg Stenzo is showing off the struggles of getting back on the power.
We'll say, you mentioned WWE earlier, and you want to talk about cursing somebody. They got this new guy that they just signed the WWE, Danhausen. He's a bit of a comedian guy, but his whole thing is you are cursed. So Judgment Day was forced to talk to him last night, and Dominic was being typical Dom and said that Danhausen was bad, and Danhausen says, "Oh, I'm bad, eh? Well, you are cursed." And then Dom lost the Intercontinental to Penna. So it was pretty funny.
I will say I missed it. Who did he lose it to?
Penta.
Oh, okay. Oh, to Penta. Okay.
Yep, to Penta. Let's see, back on the race. I don't want to talk about other stuff too much. I know that was a bit of a gripe last week. 148.1 for Caleb. KJ had another good lap here. What it'll be? It's a 47.3. So that's another second. Yeah, there's definitely enough time here. KJ just can't wreck.
No.
If KJ spins out or makes any mistake and gives any free time to Caleb can putz around all he wants.
And around the 94 there. Without any issue.
Should be next time by on lap 22. We'll see these guys all come to pit road for their final stop of the race.
Impressive that they were able to make it last like they are. But hey, being fast is one thing. Keeping the tires under you is another thing. And the best of the best can do both. And that is exactly what Caleb Lingle is doing. And pretty much mistake-free, aside from one moment he nearly got into Mac Daddy earlier on. But
I'll tell you, these guys have done a great job because it's a lot easier to spin out in the infield than it might look. I know I did it once during practice. That was the furthest I went. I think it was 3 or 4 laps of a run, and I went to hit the gas coming out of I think it's turn 3 or 4. It's that first right-hander that requires heavy braking in the infield, and I tried to power the gas all the way down, and the car just looped on me, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Check the gap this next lap here, since we should be still all staying out one more lap if you're 13 and the 029. We'll find out. Lap time for Caleb here. 49.4. KJ under the stripe as Stenzo pits. Whoa, 47.3.
Another 2 seconds. Yeah, Caleb might be trying to just get the tires down the pit road here, and then he can start going a little more. Ooh, KJ locked up a little bit there in the one. Got to be careful. Remember, the tires do wear a lot. They might look like they're driving pretty smooth, but they still wear like no tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sure all these guys are still on the edge. As it is now 10 seconds. We'll see what the pit stops will hold, as it should be this lap for the 13 and the 029, and I would imagine also would apply for both the 31 and the 59, who remain inseparable. Inseparable. That's the word I'm looking for. Inseparable is not a word. Still got everybody on the racetrack, and Keith is ahead of Troy Donahue on the racetrack, so still getting the points where he can.
Sorry, that 28 is beat up. It's doing 167 miles an hour at the start-finish line.
And the roof is caved.
Realistic for you.
That's, yeah. The fact that he hit the tire barrier as hard as he did. Honestly, I could say the same about Wiley. The fact that he hit the tire barrier as much as he did and it's still going is pretty impressive.
So yeah, KJ can see that 13 car now, and he goes off into the bus stop, and the 13 is leaving the bus stop.
I was going to say, Caleb looked like he was really laboring out of the bus stop there.
Might have a red tire. That could be why. Got to be careful. You don't want a flat tire.
Don't lock it up. He's
being a little more aggressive.
You get her down to 55 by the line there without any issue.
KJ's sending it.
Oh, yeah, he is. A little lock up there, but no flat. Yeah, we still may have a race on our hands here.
I think we do. I think we definitely do. I mean, KJ, it takes KJ a little bit of practice, but KJ is very much a great road course guy. Don't discount his abilities at all. I've had great battles with him. I haven't had one lately because he usually doesn't get to show up on Thursdays, but I know years ago I got to have great battles on some road courses with him. Lime Rock, there was a battle in Seth Cole's league back in 2018. We had a great battle, and there was just nowhere to go to pass him on that track. But he was fast too, and he got the win on me there. That was about 8 years ago now.
I vaguely remember that. It was like right around when I was starting to get into, I guess you'd call it, quote unquote, the big leagues.
That was back before KJ and I could actually race each other cleanly for wins back then. Now we're not so lucky.
I will not ask any further. Oh yeah, that gap is noticeably much smaller. We can both guys just keep it under them. That's the big thing. Caleb gets by
Well,
Troy Donahue, and now they got 2 lap cars between them.
I think the pressure's on now. Like the gap might be 5 seconds or whatever it is, but KJ knows that Caleb knows he's been closing and closing and closing, and Caleb's got the pressure on him now. Like he can't. You don't want KJ to get too close because he gets close on you, and then you're even more liable to make a mistake. So, gotta just hit your marks though, and hope KJ makes a mistake because KJ is known to make mistakes too.
Unfortunately, we've seen it twice, and that's what's got him in the predicament that he's in. But hey, that's just showing the speed in that 029, and he is looking to go 2 in a row here and 2 of the first 3 races. Last year we went 9 races before we had a repeat winner. He might not go quite that far this time, but if Caleb Lingle has anything to say about that, he is going to say something about that. 10 laps to go here at the Daytona Road Course. Checking on through the field here a little bit.
Now the gap's down to 2 seconds, man. He gained a ton of time on him.
Oh, you're serious? Oh, wow. You are not kidding. And, oh, that's a little deep there for Caleb. This is...
We'll say KJ, if you could compare KJ to a current NASCAR driver, he's very similar to Kyle Larson in a way. Drives his stuff really loose and on the edge. And because of that, has a habit of wrecking himself more often than not. Very Larson-esque.
But man, when he hooks it up, he can drive anything. Does he have enough to close in on that number 13, or was the 13 just saving his stuff on that last stint? And are we going to see something a little bit bigger now? They definitely know we got one KJ fan in the chat. Magoo is revving him on. And I'm just going to call it out once again. 31 of the 59 have still not budged. Sorry, I just think it's hilarious. Since like lap 4, they've remained inseparable. Yeah, it was a little bouncy.
KJ went in too deep. He missed the center of the bus stop there.
Could be a little bit of a gain there for the 13. Well, now that we're fully up to speed here, we're going to have our first proper lap times. Get a bit of a comparison. Have Lingo across the line to take 9 laps to go. Oof, and not the best lap for him either. Both guys in the 1 minute 50s.
Yeah, KJ still gained about 4/10 that lap.
Gap right now 1.5.
I will be curious. I will be curious to see if Herman starts to put some pressure on Jeff Stakenis because he's just been letting Jeff ride in third the entire race.
Yeah, I've been noticing that. Like, yeah, Herman's just hanging there. That gap has remained at, it's probably about a second, and a little under a second, and it has never, ever moved. And I am gonna, and you had shouted him out a little bit earlier, and I'll shout him out again. Ricky Bumbalo is now P5 after everything that's gone on in front of him, and after the one mistake that we saw him make. He's kept it pretty good ever since, and right now, hold on to a very good top 5 position. We go through the bus stop once again. Like I said, this is the make or break. Whose money is on that 029. Caleb gets through here first. Very solid and clean.
Oh, KJ had the perfect corner right there.
Yeah, they both really nailed that. Maybe even a little edge for that 029. We'll see how their speeds compare as they go past the camera. Yeah, definite speed advantage there for the 029. Noticeably closer. Does he have enough time? 49.3, 49.0. So that would put it at about 1.2.
Caleb got in a little
Oh,
gingerly there
wow.
in the one. KJ got it in deep.
Yeah, Caleb, I could tell, is kind of trying to strike that balance of finding enough speed, but keeping it under him. KJ's like gung-ho, all hands on deck, have at it. It's cost him a couple times.
Caleb had a late arc there into that corner. KJ had an early arc, and they both kind of switched positions through the corner.
Oh boy, our man KJ is. Oh, he might take
Caleb made a
advantage
little
here.
mistake.
But if Caleb can get on the power, and he will, so kind of crossed himself over in a way. Now
Can't tell if KJ's got a longer first gear or if he's just leaving it in second. I think it's just a longer. I think it's a longer first gear, and then his second and third are shorter than Caleb's might be.
Almost could that be maybe a deliberate play in case you do lose gears? It hurts you less.
Well, what it's doing is with a taller first gear, it's letting him save his rear tires a little more, so it's less chance of wheel spinning tires.
Yeah.
So it's slowing him. It's not letting him get out of the corners as fast, but it is a strategy. He might get him here. He might go for it.
I was just glancing at that battle for third, which remains pretty much stationary. Oh, yeah, he's got the run. He has got the run. He is going to make the peak.
He's going to back out.
Yeah, I was going to say, is he going to make Caleb outbreak himself?
Nope.
Ooh, good job by Caleb.
They're both taking the preferred arc. Yep. Oh, he's right there, though. Herman took third.
And, he did take the position. Okay. Possible mistake from Chicanes.
Or might have just gotten close enough, and Jeff said, "You can just go. I'll take the P4."
Yeah. Yeah, Ken Hansen was in the midst of that, and I know that they had both gotten by Ken, and now Ken is ahead of Jeff, so I'm not sure what may have gone on there.
Well, it don't matter. The only thing that I care about right now is the battle for the lead, because it is on.
It is on lap 27 of 33.
Ooh, KJ getting close, but Caleb got the power down sooner, so he'll gonna pull a little bit here, but you can have a good exit out of the infield, Andrew, but if your gearing is not ideal, it's not balanced right, you lose that time back, and that seems to be what's happening here to Caleb. KJ might not get out.
Oh, he's going to try to psych him out. I think he was going for the dive bomb.
He doesn't get out as quickly, but his gearing is better when he's going up through the gears, so he gains all that back and then some.
Slight little overcook for him there through the bus stop, but yeah, as you said, look at him get on the power. And he is accelerating in a hurry. Oh boy, yeah, this is going to be hard for Caleb to defend. You got to defend that bottom, though, if you're the 13. 6 laps to go. What's the play? Oh, they're both going to really send it. They still make it.
Yeah, it looked about normal. KJ backed out early again.
Not quite as early that time, but still. Man, yeah, I agree with Magoo. Some great racing from both guys.
Oh, Ken Hansen has retired due to a camshaft. It looks like Ken might have blew up.
Oh. That'll be our first retiree of the race. Yeah, so, hey, that'll help Keith and gaining a spot.
A little bit of LA Knight coming out of your voice there.
Yeah. They're actually catching Keith here. Just had to take a quick glance at the battle for third there. Jeff is still all over the back of Herman. But KJ's still all over the back of this 13. They're going to breeze on by Troy Donahue. Troy's got something pretty major wrong. How Keith could play into this a little bit.
Keith probably will just get his doors blown off here coming out of the bus stop. The car's so slow.
Through the bus stop once again. Again, both guys threw there pretty equally, but there's... Oh my goodness. What a power difference.
AJ's going to try to take the lead here.
Oh, he's got him in a prime position because he's going to get the run off of corner exit. Caleb, though, taking advantage of the shorter way around the oval. Side by side. 5 to go. Caleb takes it easy. Oh, into the wall. But it kept him in it.
Wow. KJ, very great reflexes there. He got it in the wall, but he never lost focus and was able to get it slowed down for the corner.
Did not let it phase him. And now to the lead after, I think we both really counted him out after what happened earlier. But on merit, he has taken it back. And now he's just got to keep it there.
And Caleb, it looks like maybe just doesn't have that same level of confidence to send it as deep as KJ is into the braking zones. And could be a little concerned about the tire wear that maybe he has seen during the first 2 stints of the race, as you see Caleb get a little wheel lock there. And you know, Caleb might be content with just trying to get it home here and have a P2, because he did make that one mistake earlier when he was racing against Keith.
Yeah, the wall ricochet pass. Yeah, KJ pulling away now, and from the speed that we've seen out of that 029. Yeah, it was like once he took it, it was going to be hard to keep it up. And now he's just got to keep that thing under him. And he will go 2 in a row. But 4 laps is a long, long time.
That's about 8 minutes. Oh, well, not really. 7.5.
Yeah, this race will be close to an hour. I mean, yeah, 33 laps of this track that's a long race. And as you said, the mental toll that'll take on you over time with the focus, that is brutal. They're finding a way, and KJ is now let it phase him after those 2 earlier offs.
Yeah, I will say
KJ.
One thing KJ is very good at is once he finds the edge, he's very good at not going over it again if he can help it. And he's done that tonight. So he went over the edge once early, and then he went over it just a little bit a second time. And, you know, he's been fast enough to catch back up to Caleb. And here he is now in the lead with 4 to go.
Herman Reese holding on to 3rd place. That stalemate's still on. It's just the roles are reversed. And Ricky Bumbalo's still holding on to an excellent 5th place run. And
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, 47s.
Ricky's closing in on those guys. Herman and Jeff ran 151s last time by, and Ricky ran the 47.9. It's going to be close, but Ricky might have a shot at a top 3.
He's looking pretty sporty as we're focused back in on our race leader. I did want to also shout out Eddie Rayleigh, who's keeping it nice and pretty in 6th place at the moment. A good run for Ray Dog in the 112 machine. Catch up to Ryan Johnson right now up front to put 11th place a lap down. 3 laps to go here at the stripe for Kilojoules. And if he can...
And he's gone now.
Yeah, just keep it under you, man. You don't even have to...
He might have
if he doesn't do that!
Nope, he's fine. That was the worst spot to be blinking.
Golly. After everything that you've done, to have your internet screw you out of the win?
Oh, that happened to me Sunday night.
Oh.
So, real quick story so we don't detract from the race. Was racing at Fast. They were running Road America. I had just gotten back to the lead following a pit cycle, and right as I went by pit road to take the lead, my internet died.
Oh, Lord.
And that was with 6 to go. So I was like, well, I'm not going to bother getting back in because I wasn't racing for points. So,
yep.
But yeah, very unfortunate. Couldn't really see how the battle would have gone with Joshua Moyers. It was between me and him.
Debating about trying Phoenix on Sunday night. We'll see. Debating.
I won't be there. I'm not going back over there until Texas in May.
Gotcha.
But anyway, KJ now the 3.5 and growing lead as he puts Ryan Johnson a lap down.
Herman Reese still
Duke
good
Sorensen.
handful of car lengths ahead.
Duke Sorensen in 10th, and you got Barry Donahue's on pit road. This Gary, how do you say it? Moran?
Gary
Maybe?
Moran.
Oh, Gary Moran. Well, I've never seen Gary race before, I don't think, so very impressed with a clean P9 day for him.
Not for the 40. So good to see out of him. And 8th place for Wiley after with a very damaged race car, and Jeff Fugate 7th. Gotta shout out those guys in the top 10 for keeping their wits about them, even if their races may have not been the cleanest. Hey, still gonna emerge with the top half of the field finish. Can't complain about that. 2 to go for KJ. Still blinking,
He's
but
gone now. 6.7. Oh, 6.7.
oh, 6.7.
If any of the kids are at home, they're going crazy.
But how about this for KJ, though? I'm going to mention this to you. The fact that it seems like no matter what, I mean, we are 10 laps into this run, and while everybody is struggling to make it on the tires, he is still laying down low 47s. Whoa!
Oh, he missed the corner there.
No harm, no foul.
Yeah, he just didn't want to lock up the tires there, because if he locks it up, he's probably going to blow one of them.
You think that he's just not caring and he's letting the tires get to their limit?
He might not even be looking at the tires. He's probably just trying to be as fast, as smooth as he can be. I mean, he's done 2 full race runs, and I mean, he's probably not worried about it too, because that first run he spun out once and lit up the rears pretty good, and then he locked up the fronts, just not too bad, but just a little bit before it went off into the grass. So he probably feels pretty comfortable that he's not going to blow a tire.
I went around to take the white flag here. I was focused there for a little bit on the battle for third, and yeah, it's on there with Ricky Bumbaloo really closing on those guys. So we may keep an eye on that here a little bit on this last lap. But KJ's going to take the white, and man, he's going to take the white flag the hard way. Just keep it under him now as he gets through one of the trouble corners. No sweat this time.
You can watch KJ through here, and you can go back to that battle for third and fourth if you want for a bit, and I'll let you know when KJ gets back out of the bus stop.
Like a plan to me. Jeff Chicanes is... Ricky just fell back a little bit there. Looks like out of the bus stop. It is pretty close here between the 59 and the 31, so if Jeff has anything, it's going to be now or never for the podium position and the interview, which we all know how valuable that is.
Man, I'll tell you what, back when JTN first started doing bomb squad races in 2020, all I cared about was the stinking interview. I don't know how many times I raced over my head for a third place finish. Ooh, KJ's good. He's good. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Be breaking zone here for the 31. Is he going to try? I think he's a little too far back. Well, no. He's definitely making Herman think about it. That's for darn sure.
KJ's letting Ryan Johnson.
KJ's just let Ryan Johnson go. Yeah, I saw that.
He's like, yeah, you can finish on the lead lap if you want.
Let you have a whole extra lap to run around, and Ryan Johnson's probably like, no, make it end, please. Through the chicane. Yeah, obviously Caleb's closing now with this just because KJ's like, whatever.
Ryan might be saying, you can lap me right at the line. I'll make it look close.
The battle for, we'll say this is the battle for the win, but no, it is KJ. He's going to go 2 in a row if he doesn't clip across the line.
Herman had a bad bus stop. Jeff Chicanes is going to get to his outside for third.
Battle for third here as KJ wins it officially here at Daytona. Battle for the podium.
Bumbaloo's giving draft to Jeff.
Sort of way around here for Herman. I think that should give it to him, but a run here for the 31. It's going to be like the 2 Corvettes a few years ago at the 24 Hours of Daytona, but give it to Herman. Those two were absolutely inseparable all race long. And yeah, credit to Bumble, man. Yeah, even on that last lap, he laid it down. He was just a 10th off of his personal best. Great speed out of that 85. He's got a lot to be proud of with that 5th place.
AJ fastest lap of the race, 146.561. Keith was second with a 46.862. Caleb was third with a 47.061. So, race pace was definitely slower than a hot lap pace, and the tire wear was definitely an attribute to that.
How about that for KJ after, hey, we've heard of the spin and win. Hey, the spin and the off and the win. Stella Artois back to victory lane for the 2nd week in a row. Won it at Atlanta, win it at the road course. Next week he's going to get to try for the 3-peat at Phoenix. Appreciate the compliment there, Magoo. KJ brings her around to the front stretch.
We're waiting on Ryan Johnson to finish the race because KJ let him stay on the lead lap.
And KJ was like, yeah, you can have it. And again, it's like I said, I think Ryan Johnson was probably thinking like, man, I'm going to finish the same position either way. You're going to make me run a whole nother lap here. Come on now. I'm exhausted. Everybody's probably exhausted.
Start his celebration. The results still aren't official.
Yeah, careful. Don't want to get DQ'd.
Where's Ryan at? I don't even see him. Who are we waiting on? Are we waiting on Troy Donahue to cross the start-finish line?
It might be Troy.
He's still in the infield. KJ just decided to get off the track. Oh, now it says it's complete.
Okay, now we're official. All right.
Well, that's goofy.
That was funny. KJ with the win by 5 seconds over Caleb Lingle. Again, the spin and win. 029 doing it in style. Herman Reese, though, with the 3rd place finish. Just, boy, what's that? 7/700ths of seconds separating the 59 and the 31 there at the line. If anyone knows the reference of that 24-hour Daytona finish between the two Corvettes many years ago, it's one of the most memorable finishes that I can remember from that race.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Jeff Stacanis, Ricky Bumble, the top 5. Eddie Rayleigh, Jeff Fugate, Wiley King, Gary Moore, and Duke Sorensen, the top 10. Ryan Johnson, finishing on the lead lap at 11th. And then Stenzo, Grant, Keller, Randy Smith. Randy Smith, I think, might be the one guy I did not mention his name at all in this race. Rough break for Keith. Man, he was looking good, and then 3rd gear went, and that was it. For Donahue, 7 laps down and out of the race. The camshaft failure was the 94 of Ken Hansen. But all in all, though, yeah, I'm with you, Zach, that even though this race definitely had its moments, I mean, for a road course race of this difficulty, I think these guys did a fantastic job.
Oh, yeah, it was a great race. I don't think there was really a single clear-cut contact incident. I think it was just everybody locking up their stuff or spinning out.
Props to all these guys, just racing with respect, and that's something that they've always prided themselves on for pretty much the entirety of Hobo's existence, and here at AOR as well in its entire existence. So great to see it on full display here. Of course, next week will be Phoenix, so that'll be a pretty good show in its own right. It's at a version I personally have never really heard of, so that'll be very interesting. We'll see if I can pull up the schedule and let you know, because Zach, you're a little more well versed in that stuff than I am. But
say no one now. I zoned out for a sec.
No, you're good. I was saying about the version of Phoenix that we're going to next week. We'll look at that in a moment. But first, though, we'll start getting some words with our top 3 finishers, and we will start with a guy that brings it home in 3rd place in the Badillac. First time we're getting to talk to him in these first few races. It is Herman Reese, driver of the 59. Do you copy?
Yeah, go ahead. I got you.
I was saying that you and Jeff were inseparable throughout that race. I guess the main question being, were you just trying to stick with him? Were you guys both running pretty hard, or primary focus just trying to keep the tires under you?
Well, the first run it was about tires, and the next two was fuel conservation. But I said the same thing to him. I said, well, one thing's for sure, we know we're even at this deal. Um, and I only would have got by him. He was nervous that he was not going to make it, so he clutched a couple times on the lap, and I said, well, I'm going to chance it. I'm rolling the dice, so I drove right by him, and then you saw he stayed on my bumper the whole time. He's probably regretting. I saved too much at the end. I still had 2 gallons of gas left when we crossed. I probably could have gone a little harder than I did, but it wouldn't have changed anything. Those other 2 cats. At one point, I said, "Is this guy really going to spin out twice and still pass me?" He said, keyed up the mic and goes, "3 times I've spun." I'm like, "Oh man." Talk about KJ.
Yeah, going back and winning the darn race, the freaking legend. But
Well, they thought they were going to run out. That's what he whispered to me. He said, "Hey, I think we're going to run out a lap short." And that made Jeff and I even conserve more. And then at one point, I said, "Jeff, how far is 5th place?" He said, 13 seconds. And then with 2 to go, he goes, "Hey, you better go." He's right on me.
that's crazy. That I'll have to ask them about that when they get up here, because I mean they went around a whole nother lap after the race and seemed
Yeah.
perfectly
I
fine. But
could have probably, KJ, was very fortunate. Caleb broke a gear, and same thing happened to Keith. Keith was leading.
Oh,
oh
Caleb
Keith
really?
lost
broke a
gear?
gear. Keith broke 3rd gear, and he kept missing it. And then he downshifted to 2nd, and it sent him into the fence, and that pretty much ended his evening.
Yeah, we
But
knew about Keith's gear, but we didn't know Caleb lost one. Which gear did
yeah,
Caleb lose?
what did he say? Did he say 2nd or 3rd? 2nd, or I think he lost 2nd.
Well, he'll let us know, I'm sure. But yeah, we didn't know about that one.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk to him about that one. But
All in
wow,
all, I mean, those
that's
guys.
weird.
I was fortunate. I figured if I came out of here with a 10th, the start of the year, dominate Daytona, and just just bad luck. Both of us were trying to help each other out on pit road and end up wrecking each other. And then last week, I just too conservative with a really good. The setup I was running won the race, so too conservative and got a speed penalty. So to bounce back on a road course, we don't run a lot of road courses. It's been a while, and I'm fairly happy with finishing 3rd. I made one bobble where I lost Jeff there for a little bit, and that was it. That's how you grade yourself, is how many screw ups. You're going to make a lot, but the big ones where you get off the track and hit the fence and stuff.
Depends on how you recover, but a good job of keeping it up there with him, and great battle between you two. I'll send it over to Zach if you have anything specific for Herman.
I don't think so.
Right on. And I guess last question for you, Herman. Phoenix next week. Expectations.
Well, definitely a track that is not on my top of my list, but I've picked it up here as of late there, and we've got the 3 usual contenders. Caleb, Keith, and KJ are going to be right there. So if you top 5 with those guys, every now and then you can sneak one out. You never know how it's going to play out. The races this year have gone with the cautions have been really good, and being the guy that pick 2 or 4 tires at the right time is paid off. So um, I think we got a top 5 car there, but there's a lot of guys that are really good there. We run that, and I'm not sure which version it is. I think this is going to be a new version, so that's going to be interesting too.
It's a different version that I'm not really familiar with myself, so excited to bring that to the masses. But Herman, to you though, a great run and great job on that 3rd place finish in a very, very treacherous race. So nicely done. Great battle with that 31. As per usual, whenever we get you up here, whatever you would like to close out with, you may have the floor.
Yeah, I want to thank my team. I did not have any input this week on the setup, and actually KJ and Keith worked really hard, and that's what I ran was KJ set, and my team worked on getting it together for me, and I thank them. And then you guys for putting on the show, and I'm not sure who sponsored this race, but thank you whoever that was, and Landspeed for providing this, and always the Hobo brothers, Bino and Steve. Steve wasn't feeling too well. I know he's looking forward to this, and thank you guys again, and have a good evening.
And the same to you, my man. Looking forward to what Phoenix holds for you, and hopefully we'll see that 59 up front there once again.
10-4, thanks.
User was moved out of your channel.
Good race for that 59 there. We'll bring it to Caleb next year, our runner-up.
User was moved to your
The
channel.
driver of the number 13. Caleb, do you copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Great to be able to talk to you once again, my friend. I will first ask you, I did not know you blew a gear. Which one?
Yeah, I blew second gear.
The second. Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I was struggling through all the infield road course.
Oh, man. Yeah, I
And
couldn't even tell. I mean, heck, I
Yeah.
wasn't even positive that Keith blew a gear until he actually keyed us up and said, yeah, he lost third. I guess I'll ask you first of all. I'm guessing you probably knew that he had blown third already, but
I did.
when he ended up losing it there in the bus stop, what the heck was going through your head?
It was I thought it was mine. I thought the race was mine. Yeah, I actually backed it down just a little bit. Want to make sure I didn't mess up. I hit all my marks, and no need to push it extremely hard at that time because I had 10+ second lead. I can't remember what it was. Basically, I was just going to try to be on cruise control, and yeah. So at that moment, I thought for sure the win was mine.
At what point then did you realize, oh shoot, there's that 029's coming up to me?
When I heard the second gear strip, I knew I saw the time to KJ, and then I kept watching to get the distance from him getting closer and closer and closer. And yeah, I knew I was in trouble. I was calculating how fast he was catching me, how many laps to go, and it wasn't looking good.
Was it before the last pit stop that you lost second?
It was, yes.
Oh man, that's well, one of the many hazards of a road course. KJ found it a couple times with the offs, but shredding the gears is just as much of a big issue. So sorry that befell you, but still though, I'll ask you as well though, just overall, the pace of that 13 was obviously looking good, but obviously tire heat was a big issue from what I was hearing. So how was it for you as far as just trying to keep the car under you, keep it under control, and not getting those rear tires spun up out of those corners?
Yeah, it took discipline, especially the first couple turns after first 4 turns or so. Tires got really hot on the front straightaway, and then when you go through all these slow turns there, and it's just easy to downshift the foot in first and light them up on the exit. I think having a gap, big distance away from other folks helped me with that. If I was trying to chase somebody down or stay in front of someone, that can get in your head, and you forget to be easy on the throttle and light them up. But yeah, I did my fair share lighting them up during practice, and for the most part, I did okay in the race tonight.
It did, I would say, pretty darn good considering the speed that you were putting down. And of course, yet another pole position added to your very extensive resume. I mean, if you collected those little checkered flags that they give the pole sitter at a lot of real life races, you would probably need about 50 walls at this point to coat them.
Yeah, I don't know where that speed came from tonight. That was the first time I've ran that fast. So, but good time to do it.
Very good time indeed. Zach, what you got, if anything?
Yeah, Caleb, before Keith made his mistake and lost his gear, and before you lost your gear, what did you feel like you were missing that Keith had on you?
I felt like he was a little bit better in the right-handers than I was. After the left-hander in second gear, there's a long sweeping right-hander before like the hairpin, and I felt like they were better through there. Most of the right-handers, mainly the infield side. I felt like the bus stop I was okay in, but yeah, I would say the right-handers.
Right on.
A great finish for you, though, despite the circumstances. But still, a lot to be proud of. We got Phoenix next week. What are your hopes for that one?
I like the track. It's been good and bad to me at times. So a top 5 would be great. I'll try for a win, obviously, but it's a different Phoenix than what we've ran in the past. So a little bit of unknowns there.
And I think that'll just add to the intrigue. So, best of luck for that one. But as always, we got you back up here in the booth once again, which is always awesome. So, I think that you know what comes next.
Yes, sir. Thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Thank y'all for doing the broadcast, and big thanks to Jeff Trowbridge here at AOR, a good friend of mine, for bringing us over and adopting Hobo, and all the work he put into our off season. He did a ton of work behind the scenes, so he didn't get off season. And big thanks to Steve Grant for helping Jeff out with all that, and everyone that's admin over here. Appreciate them, and all the drivers over here. Everybody's race is pretty good, level-headed, and yeah. And thanks to my teammates for all the help they do. Oh, and shout out to my family that's watching. I know my mom's watching. Others will be watching later, and all them.
Right on, my man. Great job tonight, and we will see you at Phoenix.
Thank you. See y'all there.
Best of luck.
User was moved out of your channel.
Runner-up, Caleb Lingle, to the man that has now gone 2 in a row.
User was moved to your
It
channel.
is the 029, who is so darn good that he can spin, go get a hot dog, and still win the race. KJ, do you copy?
Hey Andrew, how about that shit, man? That was crazy. That was not my finest moment, but man, gotta be fine as long as you get it done.
I am gonna, well, first off, send you the notice of the fine for swearing on stream in the mail. But
I'll take it after this racer. I'll take it. Go ahead.
The genuine question I did have though is, man, we were hearing so much about tire heat and wear and just trying to keep the car under you, and even
broken gears.
And broken gears. But even toward the very end of the run, you were still laying down like low 47s. What the heck was it possessing that 029 to keep you going that fast for that long?
Stupidity. I ran that 47 flat, and then I ran the 47 too. And I said, I bet you I can get a 46. Let me try it. And I got through the first half of the track really, really good. And I just completely missed that corner. And I said, I just gave the damn race away. But I just got it to stop before both sides went into the dirt. But I was having brake problems all night. I could not get the car to brake like I wanted to. It would just lock them up. That's why I spun the second time. It's just I couldn't get the car to stop. It just as soon as they hit the brakes, lock brakes up.
Yeah, I think it was a tire heat thing from what I saw on the little testing I did. It seemed like once the tires got really hot, it made it easier for them to lock up for whatever reason.
Really, I mean, we had the spin earlier on, which kind of did a 360, and then we saw you go deep in turn 1. I'm drawing a blank on what the third moment was.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing a third moment. Herman said you spun out 3 times, but I don't think we saw the.
Yeah, y'all might not have seen that. I spun third time.
Oh shoot! So okay, so you're just showing off then, and you're still finding a way to win, but no, but no, man, I like you said stupidity, which is fine, but like you weren't really noticing much of a handling difference toward the end of a run.
I mean, you lost a little grip in the front. You just had to change your braking point and back the corner up a little bit more, and maybe diamond the corner a little bit. But if you changed your line throughout the run, you didn't really lose any speed. You could get a little wheel spin off the corners if you ran a tight line coming out. But the first run when I spun, I killed the rears, and that was part of the reason I was having so much trouble that first run. I had no rears on it. It was just wheel hopping and spinning and all kind of crazy stuff. But once I pitted and got fresh tires back on it, the car came back to life. I was actually catching both of them a little bit before they stripped the gears. They were probably riding a little bit, but the car had speed. But yeah, well, if you just got to adapt your line a little bit throughout the run to kind of keep the speed. You can't kind of cook that entry as much on them older tires.
Yeah, I get you. But yeah, I mean, whether or not they stripped the gears, man, that was still dang impressive that you were running the way that you are. So very, very impressive, and showing a lot of road course skill there, which I'm guessing you're probably gonna give you some encouragement for the few road courses that we will end up going to, I believe, this season. I know the next one's not till May, but it's got to give you at least a little bit of confidence, I'm sure.
So I got to give a shout out to whoever put the tire barriers in turn 1 2 feet further out, because I thought my race was over and I just got that thing to stop before I hit them tires, and I was about ready to quit because it was going so bad. And I decided I could probably get third, and then I didn't know they had them problems until I called them. So I guess it's stick staying around. You never know what's going to happen.
Stick around, you never know. Yeah, and unfortunately, Wiley King is the one that found those tires. So I think he unfortunately needed a little more than those 2 feet, but still very impressive, man. Zach, you got anything?
Yeah, did you have a heart attack when you blinked across the line at 3 to go?
I didn't know I even did till just now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was watching you. You blinked across. You were blinking, coming to the line, taking 3 to go, and it looked like you might have blinked across the line, but the game still caught it. So
I was actually when I passed Caleb on the high side, my game the last 5 laps was kind of freezing for a second going into turn 1, and I thought I wrecked Caleb because I couldn't see anything for like 2 seconds.
That's not good.
At every level of adversity you can come back from and still win the darn thing. My goodness.
I heard gas was a little bit of concern, but how much of a concern was tire wear? Because we did see, I think it was Brian Johnson blew a left front there on that first run.
Yeah, you can't really run, let's say, balls to the wall every lap because you'll kill the tires. Tires won't make it. You had to get the tires to match the fuel at least 11 laps, and if you cooked the corner one time and went heavy on the brakes, that tire was done. You weren't going to make it. So it was managing tires as much as managing gas. You had to watch it the whole time. And that's what I did that last run. When I caught Caleb, I finally knew he blew a gear. And so I said, I need to save a little fuel. So I just stayed behind him for like 4 or 5 laps and made sure I saved enough fuel until I knew I had it. And then I just went around him. But yeah, if you overcooked the corner one time, tire life, it was gone.
Don't take much.
Oh.
Okay, so yeah, the fuel was a little more of a concern than we thought there. So that's good to know. I guess that begs just one final question. What did you have to end up saving a little bit of fuel on each of those runs?
No, I was running out pitting. But I knew the last run I wanted to make sure I had enough fuel because I knew Caleb had a gear problem. So if I just got to him and kind of stayed in his draft, I was running a lot of second, third gear in the infield. I wanted to make sure I had enough just in case, but it was close. But I would have been fine either way, I think.
Right on. Good to know. Well, that brings us to Phoenix next week. Thoughts and hopes for that one? We're looking at possibly the three-peat.
Well, it is my favorite track, but we're running a different version, so my advantage is probably going to go away. We'll have to do a lot of practice this week, but anytime I go to Phoenix, no matter what version it is, I always have a little extra pep in my step. Like I said, it's one of my favorite tracks. The other version we always run, I got a really good setup for it. This is going to be kind of a new experience, so I don't really know what to expect because I've never seen this track.
I think it'll be a new one for all of us, so excited to see what it holds. But for tonight, though, the Stella Artois is going to be flowing once again. So great job there on the 2 in a row. Since we got you up here, whatever you'd like to close out with, the floor is yours, Mr. Winner.
Is it the new layout, Andrew, or is it the old layout? Do you know for Phoenix?
For Phoenix, I actually do not know. I have never heard of this version in my life.
What's it called?
It is Phoenix AOR SWM.
I have no idea.
Yeah. I guess we'll all
find
figure
out.
it out.
Yeah.
It sounds like a branded track for the league, but yeah, no idea what if it's old layout, new layout, middle layout. Yeah, couldn't tell you.
Up, down, left, right.
I gotta give a shout out to Keith. Keith had a good car tonight. Keith probably should have won this race, but gear problems. He was really fast. Caleb was really fast. I guess I just kind of the one person who didn't have the gear problems. All my mistakes made up for them losing the gears, but the crew chief and the crew made up for it tonight. The driver was not here for the Stella Artois car. Fast car, a lot of mistakes, but we pulled it together at the end. Give a shout out to you, Andrew and Zach here at Top Dragster for broadcasting. I heard it was a good race and a good broadcast to watch. I'll go back and watch some of it a little bit later. Give a shout out to my wife, my mom, they both gave me the congratulations, and the wife's looking at me right now. And yeah, shout out all my other teammates here, the Four Horsemen teammates. I'm a satellite member of them. Call me Barry Windham sometimes, but yeah. I gave them a setup tonight. We all kind of ran a little version of it, and we all had good speed. I think Jeff and Herman got what, third and fourth. So
Yeah.
good run to them. Thanks to all the admins here, the new brand of Hobo here, and AOR for letting us do it here. I love racing here. A lot of good racing this season, start the season. Hopefully we can continue it here. So I'm looking forward to next week. I got 3 in a row on Sunday, so we're going 4 in a row this Sunday at Phoenix.
There you go, man. Well, best of luck for that. And best of luck next Tuesday when we'll see you. And best of luck tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be joining you on the racetrack.
Yeah, and I passed Caleb again without wrecking him. I'm trying to keep a streak going. I haven't wrecked Caleb in a long time, so keep it going another week.
I think you're due. He deserves it. No, I'm just kidding.
I about got him in that right-hander on lap 1. His spotter didn't say I was there.
Oh, well, a good save on everyone's part. We had a few of those moments, but hey, go get yourself some of that Stella, man. You have earned it once again, especially after everything you went through. So, best of luck at Phoenix. But tonight, celebrate it up, man. Well done.
I'm going to get some beers and tacos, so I'll see y'all later.
Oh, I
Right
love
on.
it. Go get them.
User was moved out of your channel.
Oh, man. He did it the hard way, but he still found a way. I would have to guess that this is probably an older version of Phoenix, but hey, we will find out. I will get that downloaded as soon as possible then and take a look. But we've got the first road course of the season in the books. I believe we only have 2. I believe that we've got just Watkins Glen in May, and then Sonoma, I believe that is later. Yeah, last race of June. And then that is it for the road courses. Zach, closing thoughts on what we got to see tonight?
Yeah, it was a really good race. Like I said, no real contact incidents that I really saw, other than I think Stenso getting into Wiley at one point, but that was like a half spin, and that was after Wiley had already stuffed himself in the tires. Only other major incident was, of course, Keith spinning out into the tires in the bus stop, which was a shame to see, even after he had broken that gear. So great race by these guys. It was definitely, required a lot of mental focus tonight. As you heard KJ say, you had to worry about the tires and the fuel. Very stressful. So the fact that KJ was, as he put it, still stupid enough to drive his car as hard as he did, props to him on the win.
And props to everyone for making it through tonight. Props to you, Zach, for joining me up here once again. Certainly will not be the last time this year. But thank you, as always, for hopping on board for one of these deals. And thank you to everyone who came by to check it out. Again, Phoenix is next week for these guys here at AOR Hobo. I'm looking forward to that one. Phoenix is often a bit of a wild card as far as what you're going to get. Whether it's a little bit more chaotic or you get some long runs. We'll find out. That'll be a good one. But we got a good streak of races here with Phoenix, Vegas, and Darlington. I'm excited. And as always, thank you to AOR for what they're doing and keeping Hobo going and for bringing me back for another year. We're having fun with it, and we're only 3 races in. Long, long way to go here. So until next week, congrats to KJ. Thank you, everyone. And a good night for now. And don't forget to turn your clocks forward an hour come this Saturday. Not really looking forward to that, but it is what it is. Good evening, all. Take care.